Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Monday Novice Fight with me, your host, Imperial Dane, featuring today a 2 vs 2 on rails and metals. Yes, indeed, right next to this crash down plane, we shall be having a 2 vs 2 here for the Monday Novice Fight. Exciting stuff. We shall be seeing Foggybottom and Binarysoldier fighting for the Allies. A most exciting prospect, and again, I cannot respond. I have no idea why he insists at these timings, but nonetheless, barracks up right here and composed. These shall be, I don't know, a task force composed of the 2nd Army, supported by some British infantry. Opposing them shall be Olewedel and Loystrup, or Loystrup, whatever. Both playing as the Wehrmacht, so combined they shall make, I don't know, let's just for the fun of it say the 3rd Panzer Division. Both starting out with pioneers. Obviously the Wehrmacht quarters, not really a lot to start out with unless they decide to get rather bold and start out with a Fort barracks, start either of them. But again, that would require 3 pioneers rising for the fuel points, munitions and a bit of other fun bits. Brits are focusing heavily on the east, and they are securing the munitions point and not the fuel point right here, the medium point. No, they're going for the low point. A slightly peculiar maneuver from the British. In particular, seeing if they weren't doing munitions, there's plenty over there that again would have served as a better target of securing. First unit out here for Loystrup is an MG42. In fact, they're going both for MG42s, and again, this is rather one of the indicators. Perhaps this is a bit of a Monday Novice fight. Again, this is not really a good thing. I mean, in a 1 vs 1 it would be problematic. In a 2 vs 2, when they're both going for it, it's also going to be problematic. Again, the support units on the move, they need to set up. And again, have some rather different limitations. Of course, there we go. MG42 trying to set up, but of course rather quick to move about, and thus the MG42 is of no use. Again, it's a support unit with set up times. Again, that rather means that it has a set amount of limitation. Again, it can easily be outmaneuvered by infantry, which could be considered maneuver elements. That is usually why you start with the infantry, so you can usually have something to stabilize and protect the MG42. That's not happening, and now we're in fact seeing an additional MG42 going up. And again, I mean, the rifle are practically just running past it. I mean, this really ought to be sort of a key as to this is not really functional, this is not sensible, this is not helpful. I mean, really, if an Iraqi can constantly run past not 1, not 2, but 3 heavy machine guns, again, that really ought to be have, where the flashing warning lights go off. Achtung, Achtung, Dummkopf, or something like that. Yes, I know I'm being a bit harsh with the Germans, but again, I mean, really, this is the sort of thing where you sort of get a bit red in the face and rather ashamed. Riflemen do manage to get out there, and yes, in the end, but still, 1 MG42 was run off, another one heavily damaged, leaving again 1 behind. Now he's getting a bike. I'm still not seeing any infantry out from them. In fact, I'm just seeing additional MG42s. Again, this is not good. The Allies are in fact pushing forwards with infantry. I mean, they have the proper start. We're seeing 2 riflemen out, 2 infantry sections. Our lieutenant out now in his nice, lovely sweater. Americans are pushing up there. MG42s are finally able to do something to actually stall the American advance, the Allied advance. But I mean, not really the best start. Again, this is not really healthy. Again, you need infantry. Du brauchst Infanterie. You need boots on the ground. You need something that can maneuver. Bloody hell, well, an MG42 is not a maneuver element, not the heavy variant. That's something to lock down, provide protection, all that. It's not what you send in first. And now already within the first 5 minutes, while seeing a Vickers machine gun replacement going up. And again, one that's perhaps not best placed. Perhaps, a bit something that covers this area would have been a slightly more healthy emplacement. But there we go. Bunker going down there for Loystrup. Bike pushing in a bit. And there we go, Ruffen getting out of the cover. Taking heavy losses to find a bit more further progress. Brits are securing the center. Rifle grenades up. Another machine gun emplacement. This, on the other hand, again, sort of novice-y. I mean, 1 emplacement nice, but again, when you're going this many emplacements within this sort of short amount of time, I mean, you're really expending a lot of manpower on things that can't move. I mean, a bit of smoke from a mortar. I mean, this can easily be outmaneuvered. A half-track crossing past it, outmaneuvered. Moving in from there, outmaneuvered. Now the rifle grenades are forcing the MG42s back. We're seeing another bunker up. Hopefully one of these bunkers is a medic bunker, and I hope to God that we do see some infantry soon. Otherwise, there we go. One Volksgrenadier squad. One two, in fact. Although that's totally for both players again and not really solid. Troops here, though, getting pinned. They need to retreat. Come on, lads. Get out of there. Bullets are bad for your health. Going to have a look at Binarysoldier, and already there. Rifleman getting suppressed by the other MG42. Volksgrenadiers, Pioneers moving in. These chaps need a medic pack or some veterans or something. Now, of course, they could push in there and try to hit the flank, of course, as soon as they're aware of the existence of it, of course. Running into that Vickers right there. The good old Vickers World War I machine gun, in fact, was even used to brew tea due to the fact that it is water-cooled. And afterwards, having fun, of course, the water would be all nice and hot. Grenade going up there for Foggybottom. That's quite interesting. Not necessarily bad, just unexpected. MG42 setting up, and there we go. I mean, infantry biked in front. MG42 setting up to provide some more firepower. I mean, that's one way to do it, although again, I prefer a bit more infantry than that. But at least they have some infantry now. Rather than getting suppressed, others moving up on the flank. Pioneers moving up, and we are seeing a medic bunker. We're seeing a machine gun bunker up there, and observation post. Why the machine gun bunker right there? Does seem a bit wrong. Only put. The riflemen are a bit too slow to sort of push up. Americans lack tempo all of a sudden. Brits moving up here. MG40 has been pushed back by the Bren carrier, with a Vickers also installed on that. MG42 get flanked. Riflemen though are taking heavy fire, and the Bren carrier doesn't seem to care about the MG42. It's sort of moving about. There we go. Riflemen moving in again, finding a weak spot. Rifle grenades. Oh dear, this could mean the entire German defense is rolled up. A grenade goes off. MG squad down. Oh dear, Loystrup. Vorsicht. MG42 turning about. Stick to cover, stick to cover. Rifle grenades firing away. Rifle getting suppressed. Heavy losses, medics pulling in the wounded. Kampfkraft sent up. Might be a bad idea. Field support truck on the way, although so far nothing that really indicates on. We are seeing BAS up for the rifle, giving them more machine gun fire. Brits need to retreat. The lieutenant could do with a bit of healing from that casualty station. Grenadiers out. This is definitely going to be a boon for Loystrup. Some actual more solid infantry. Grenade, yes indeed. Die Stielgranate. And killing the entire rifle squad. That's one hell of a grenade. Can happen, though it's certainly has a few things that need to be happening, and including that, the riflemen have to be in a pretty bad shape. Pioneers are getting gunned down in return, though not quite the same. It never is. And this Bren carrier also needs to be pulled back for repairs. Field support truck is up, and is he going to secure another +5 few munitions point? No, no. Thank the heavens not. Rather than they're pushing up, Canadians equipped with a Panther grenades. Too short! Those shrapnel still ends the life of one Volksgrenadier. No, it was a medic apparently who died. There we go. Grenades maim several Volksgrenadiers. No real efforts here. Most are being pushed up here towards a slightly more increasing meat grinder being set up by the Germans. Another Grenadier squad up. This is definitely working out to the favor of the Third Reich and the 3rd Panzer Division. Panzerjets flying, trying to hit a medic. A bit overkill, perhaps. Field support truck securing this munitions. This is good, but the players need some armor. This needs repairs, and they need something to push forwards now. Some armor to push the assault, something to deal with the MGs. Again, getting stopped by one there, a slightly more tighter web, and Loystrup has actually made another one. Riflemen here need to retreat, get out of there, leg it, leave it. Pioneers laying down mines, getting rifle grenaded in the name of King George. Mind you, the rifle grenade was not exclusive to the British. Pretty much all sides used it. The Germans, the Americans, even the Russians. In fact, the Germans actually took it a bit farther by actually making an anti-tank rifle grenade. Rifle though getting suppressed. Grenadiers coming under fire. No veterans for them, so they are still a bit exposed. Rifle grenades flying. And we're actually seeing a German sniper out here. I think he's actually been having them for some time, but has not really gotten around to using him. Oh well. Olewedel pushing on for the fatherland. Krieg barracks up. Not a lot of further infantry from, though. Mortar now out. That is something. Hang on. Has he lost his Volksgrenadier squad? No, they're still alive. Veteran to 1. Bren needs to pull away, although might have a chance here against the MG. But there we go. Grenadiers moving up. Panzerschreck. Panzerschreck. Oh dear, Loystrup, unit preservation. You know, retreat in cases of automatic weapons like that. He quickly lost his grenadiers, and a Panzerschreck was lost for posterity. Although I suppose he has some small advantage in that medic bunker again. Rifleman, finally a nice flank going on here by Foggybottom. Fogging it up. Although he might risk being a rather bullet-riddled bottom as well. Medics pulling in the wound as well for the allies. Lovely, lovely. Might actually see infantry section out. So again, and medics from both sides. Nice sort of dealing with attrition. And there we go. Stuart light tank moving in, hitting the flank. Wunderbar, wunderbar. MG could in fact be cleared up. Another one setting up. Stuart needs to move in, sort it out. Although we are seeing now packs arriving from the Germans. Both players getting packs. This is actually good. Again, both players have their own anti-tank assets. Grenadiers here. Dear, more pack. Oh! Grenade on the MG! But the MG bunker actually provides a nice strong point. And the Stuart tries to clear out that bunker. Bren carrier has to be a bit careful, but again he doesn't know there are packs abound. So that little happy Bren carrier is sipping about like a puppy, a very big armored puppy, until a pack blows it up. Unlike a puppy, I hope. Don't think I've ever seen a puppy being hit by an anti-tank round, and I don't want to see it. Pioneers are coming under fire. Riflemen pushing up there. Pack sneaking up. Grenadiers moving up. Brits are moving up there. Did he train another infantry section? He's got 4 now all of a sudden. You're British, not the Soviet Union. Don't conduct infantry wave attacks. And quickly getting pinned there as well. Oh dear. That's just not British. It's rather Soviet. And the Brits did not really have the manpower to suffer that. So again, that's not really what you'll be doing. Just retreat. There's another empty bunker up there. I think Olewedel has been spending a bit too many resources on, you know, statting things like observation posts and bunkers. I mean, 1 nice, but 2 empty bunkers. I think you might be a bit, you know, over the Novice horizon there. Grenade. Ooh, a bit close. Grenadiers managed to get out of there. Stuart actually went down. Small victory for the Reich. Brits need to move out, and again on a slightly wider arc, not blobbed up. Going in for the victory point there, the nice maneuvers from the Americans actually hitting the flanks. Very good. Sehr gut, in fact, except with your Germans, in which case it's scheiße. Supply it up. Could be an idea to get some armor to continue the push. We are seeing Olewedel going for defensive doctrine. Mortar's actually doing a nice work over there. 3 kills already. Riflemen need to retreat. Points being secured. So Grenadiers are moving in. Fun fact about the 3rd Panther Division, they actually had a bunch of Bren carriers, which from the time of Dunkirk, where they captured a bunch, and they'd actually converted them into tank destroyers by mounting sort of Panzerschrecks on them. Looked rather funny. But again, mortar emplacement going up to sort of support here. That could work, could work. Sniper as well. Rifleman. Ooh, grenade did not fly far enough, and that sniper's far too way ahead. American assault stalling. Oh, get the MG. Seize the MG. No. He might try to clear out the first one. That's something. Then again, I might just have said grab the MG and run for your life. And thus use it against the Germans. Grenade going off. Both there. Oh, that was close. No, never mind. Mortar rounds flank from the mortar emplacement. Bren carrier needs to pull back. It is not anti-tank gun resistant. Ooh. Misses. Come on. Pull the Bren carrier out of there. Pull it. And a full squad squad with MP40s. Bren carrier somehow manages, despite being rather forgotten. Mortar rounds against the MGs. And he's actually moving up 2 MGs close to each other. Less good. Riflemen need to retreat. Brits are moving out again in a blob. Again, not good. Nicht gut.
Where do you want us?
Registered artillery going in. Oh, over here against the riflemen of Foggybottom. And they're in fact completely lost. That's a bit of rarity. Usually people just retreat, but apparently Foggybottom was not attentive enough. And again, why do you insist on blobbing up? You know what happens. You know what happens, Binarysoldier. This is silly. This is dreadful. This is daft. And there we go, mortar round, just killing and maiming several Brits at once. Volksgunn's moving in. MG somehow gets cleared. Probably a mortar round. And the machine gun. Oh dear, the blob is actually allowed to advance. The mortar rounds do its best to stop the blob in its tracks. One section moves ahead, tries to secure the MG. Oh dear, he's actually going to spend this section now. Need to retreat, need to retreat. And he's actually going to have wasted a section right there if he does not retreat this very... Yes, he's just wasted an entire infantry section. He's wasted 450 manpower. That's just terrible. Grenadiers outflanking again. That was rather the thing that I was waiting for to clear out this position. Registered artillery going in around the victory point. Brits are forced to retreat. Machine gun emplacement is going to go down. A nice German push. Force of Fatherland and all that. Destroy the Tommies. Und die Yankees. Meet the jackboots. Bit of artillery going in here. Setting up artillery right here. I mean, I think I can understand conceptually. I mean, it's sort of, you know, rather behind everything. You know, he's going to have to march through the British base, partly through American lines, to sort of get to it. So in a sense, makes sense. Although a reaction time to it is going to be a lot more difficult if the Germans somehow sneak into it. Flag 88 going up. I do feel this is a bit of a mistake. I mean, we're not really seeing a lot of armor from the British. I mean, going for flag 88 is, I think, a bit risky, a bit, you know. And Loystrup apparently building additional bunkers. But again, the flag, perhaps not the best idea, perhaps an attempt at a Panther command and some Panthers to punish. And we are in fact seeing an Ostwind coming out with that exact same purpose. To stop the Tommies, to crush them beneath its treads, to blast them to pieces with its anti-aircraft gun. And that is how we like it. Another howitzer going up. Looks like Foggybottom is the sort of blood fog person. But no armor depressing him. We're actually seeing a glider. He's adding commandos to his blob. Not really interesting. And again, oh well, depressing assaults. A heroic charge now adding into the fun. Captain in the house. And charging right into an Ostwind. Trying again to get those MGs again. Mine goes off. That is, oh, rotten luck for Olewedel. But again, you know, be careful about standing around your own mines. So that's, I mean, a pretty good piece of advice there. Rifle getting stopped by the MG. Grenades getting lobbed in, but it's not quite enough. Other rifle stopped there. And interesting enough, he's... Oh, there we go. Artillery now hitting the German positions. MG squad down. Sent to Kingdom Come. More artillery adding in. Oh, dear. A rain of fire and hell raining down upon them. And we are seeing a 17-pounder gun to protect against any German armor, like say that's Ostwind Flak Panther with its damaged engine. So cool, desperately hoping it does not burst into further flames. Grenadiers trying to flank him out. Oh, Loystrup, careful, careful, think through your assault. You're going to have to retreat, these chaps. Again, also try to, you know, visualize how are they going to retreat. Is that going to be through that huge British blob, which hopefully my teammate has been telling me about? That's one Grenadier squad down, and again, a Panther lost. No. And otherwise, 3 additional Grenadiers gone. That, I mean, is 7 Grenadiers. And they did nothing. More artillery going in against the other Grenadiers, and they are lost as well. All of a sudden, Loystrup is taking excruciatingly high losses. Hang on. Don't tell me they both went defensive. You rarely go for the both for the same doctrine. It means you lack a lot of flexibility. Oh dear. Again, rather why this is the Monday Novice fight. More artillery adding in, and again, doesn't help that they're both going defensive, that they're both going for sort of static tactics, which is pretty much setting themselves up as targets for the bloody artillery. Pioneer squad down, MG down. Flak could be going down. The only really thing that can take on the opponent is a Panther 4 and an Ostwind, and that's Olewedel, which is something. Although now we are seeing a Panther coming up for Loystrup as well. Get a Panzer 4 vorwärts, Männer. Zerstören Sie die Alliierten, something like that, and repair that medic bunker by the way. Oh dear. Both defensive. No good. Let's just beat this up, partly because it's late in the evening. I have to prepare this the night before. And again, I've already casted 2 games before. I mean, you know, time is of the essence. I'm actually thinking about stopping the Eastern Front mod cast because I don't have any more time for it. Got my schedule and all. But I've been charging in. Getting stopped here by the MG bunker. That is nice. Rifleman marching up there again. Under support from the artillery. That is nice, of course. Good to use artillery to coordinate with your assault to push onwards. Lots of riflemen. I think that might be a bit over the top. Flag even gets a few kills. Interestingly enough, there's lots of Panther but none of these. Oh, blimey! Direct hit. Flag and Pioneers gone forever. Ostwind getting sticky bomb veteranry too. That's nice, but the engine is destroyed right next to the artillery. Ostwind somehow survives that. Grenadiers just need to retreat. Rückzug. Panzer IV advances, trying to clear out that building with the British MG. BAR left behind. Come on, Olewedel. He's getting a Panther, but again, there's no British armor. I mean, you're seeing tons of infantry. React to that. Get something that kills infantry. If you're worried about armor, get Panzer IVs. They can at least serve as a stopgap if they go for anything heavier than a Sherman or a Cromwell. But please, for heaven's sake, do not get a Panther. Registered artillery going in on this American force, trying to sneak forwards. Another force blasted to bits. Pack decrewed. Panther advances. 17-pounder going up. MG getting recruited. And a... Oh, don't tell me just used a full Grenadier squad on that. Or for that matter, full Grenadier squad. And he's actually again mounting the support unit in front of the infantry. Getting it killed. Panther though rolls in. Submachine guns. MG cleared up by the Rangers. A most heroic effort. Panther charges in. Grenade against the Grenadiers. No medic bunker though. That's definitely also going to hurt, by the way, the Germans. British are pushing up there again. They're blobbing up. Do avoid blobbing. It's neither fun nor interesting nor convincing anyone that you're clever. And again, I mean, it can be easily countered with something like an MG42 in these cases.
Incoming. Get the hell down.
Ostwind is somehow still driving. More artillery knocks out one repair bunker, though there's still another one. Germans are being pushed further and further back. Let's just speed this up a bit, just a wee bit again, to shorten things and make it a bit more nice for me. Now we're seeing kangaroos. Again, not necessarily the most exciting gameplay. Ranged artillery barrage still going in on the advancing hold. Excellent, excellent. But again, the Panther's not really much use against hordes of infantry. Again, you need a Panther IV or an Ostwind. Sticky bomb going in on the Panther. Again, veteranly true riflemen have a longer sticky bomb range. Knights Cross now arriving for Loystrup. Grenadiers need to retreat, though they might not survive. Veteran 2 would have been nice. There we go, the Olewedel rushing in his Panzerkampfwagen 4, Workhorse of the Wehrmacht. Knights Cross also arriving now for him, charging in there, getting stopped though. And if only one of them had perhaps gone terror, they might have had some artillery to use in their Firestorm or V1 to knock out this position, and would have done so nicely. Rifleman getting reformed, so clearly has a medic station up actually, so never mind. Good job though. Rangers now rhyming, but again there's not really a lot of armor from the Americans. Nothing to really sort of push the advantage home. Artillery against the Panzer IV. Third Panzer Division holding out against the Americans. Oh, what was it? Third Armored Division? Was it the second? No, never mind. Let's just say second infantry. There we go. The Rangers taking a nasty hit. MG joining in as well. And another unit down. The flak has not been recruited. Anyone could just waltz in there, turning against the Germans. Oh dear, again lots of these little nasty mistakes. Never too inspiring. Binarysoldier with his one kangaroo now filled to the brim with British soldiers. Commando doctrine chosen, of course, what would commandos, so no huge surprise there. Staghound now on the way. Knight's Cross dead. Why not push those Panzer forces and Ostwind to support it in the first place? Olewedel again. Lack of coordination. Half-flank out. Kangaroo charging in. Nothing to stop it. Another Panther ready somewhere now. It's Olewedel getting Panthers. But no one's getting a solid solution to the infantry problem, which is a bit distressing. Although actually looks like Mr. Binarysoldier has suffered enough to actually stop most of his infantry. He's killed a lot of it, so that's something. He's actually lost 2 infantry squads, but continuing his dangerous ride, going for the cut-off points. But as long as the others are connected to one base, it doesn't really matter. So I mean, this is actually a pretty pointless maneuver. And you have to think those things out, otherwise, I mean, you're just getting men killed. I mean, again, as long as one base is connected, they get all the resources. So you need to disconnect 2 bases, and he's not doing that. He can't, by the way, because this one's reasonably protected as well. So this was a futile maneuver. Nothing gained at all, except getting some good British soldiers killed. Lots of artillery though. Veterancy free for one of them already. Again, static is bad. Loystrup with his own flak Panzer. Panzer 4 needs to get away. Does succeed so. Kangaroo almost down. There we go. Panther kills it. British infantry insist on pushing onwards nonetheless though. Their fire shall not be extinguished except by German fire. Lots and lots of German fire might extinguish that flame which burns within their hearts. But that's to be expected. More registered artillery. Infantry advancing in, going in for the German tanks. Artillery right on the Ostwind flak Panzer. An interesting thing is, in Company 2, that might actually resulted in the crew getting killed, since in Company 2, apparently, I'm not 100% sure of this, but apparently crews who are exposed like this can actually be hurt by things like grenades and probably also artillery. More Knights Cross charging in. Immer mehr Ritterkreuz. The Americans pushing onwards, though, again, no real armor. Anti-tank guns, you need armor. You need something to really push the assault, not infantry. You're... Oh dear, but there we go. Firefly out. Firefly, Firefly, Firefly. All sectors go, whatever. Supercharge. Just fire away, lads. Rangers going in, trying his best. Artillery going in. Is he using a heavy rocket barrage on the Firefly? Yes, he is. What an absolute waste. Another Panther charges in right into the blob. Not necessarily the brightest maneuver, certainly not the one that shall go down in history as winning a Knight's Cross. That is for sure. Additional Panthers going up for the Germans. Not Panzer force to which to stop the vile British infantry, but Panthers. Certainly again, this sort of novice idea of thinking that the biggest tank is also necessarily the best for all purposes. Not necessarily again. Panthers in fact alright against infantry, but it's not the best. I mean, Panzer 4 or Ostwind, and certainly the Panzer 4, if you again are worried about armor, Panzer 4 does the job, because you can also deal to an extent with armor. So again, not quite keen on all those Panthers, and they are losing points. Let's just speed this up. This is going to be a long one, in fact. Whoops. British infantry charging in. Rifleman dying. Ostwind flying. He's finally recruited the flak. Finally recruited. British charging in, running into the MG bunker again. No idea why he's insisting on blobbing up when he knows the bunker is there. Why he hasn't, for example, called in some artillery from his teammate on the bunker either. Oh, there we go. About time. No, that's officer artillery, actually. 3rd Panther Division, though, rolling in as many Panthers as possible now to make up for anything else. Make up for everything else, actually, I meant. Rangers exposed to heavy fire from the Panthers and the machine guns. The bazooka which they carried could not penetrate the frontal armor of the Panther, although they could the side armor, due to in fact it being actually thinner than a Panzer IV. And that was actually one of the greater weaknesses of the Panther. It actually had thin side armor, which again was sort of meant to sort of, you know, allow it for speed purposes, you know, not to weigh down too heavily. Riflemen now moving in. Panther needs to pull away. Panther 4 could be sent forwards. Panzer Kampfwagen 4. Schnell. Destroyed engine on the Panther. This would be a nice artillery target, by the way. Just saying. Half track. I'm not entirely sure what that's doing there, but tons and tons of armor for Olewedel. One pushed away. Lots of sticky bombs on the Panther. British advancing up the center. Firefly blasting away. Not really doing much in terms of actually hitting the opponent. Not sure what's going on with this headquarters command truck. More registered, but not really achieving much this time around. Not sure why he's not packing that one down. Artillery on the Panther. Firefly charges head most recklessly. Artillery down on the Panther. Almost gets it. Almost, but no cigar. Oh wait, he's gone commando, so there's no officer artillery. That means, of course, commando artillery. Never mind. Just a bit later again. But such is the life of the Propagandacaster. No time for silly things like sleep.
The grateful fatherland of Loystrup.
But again, going to cut corners a bit. What happens with the university? I am certainly considering cutting the Eastern Front modcast from the weekly basis, simply because, again, it's too much time and I also have all the university and homework to do. Veterancy free up for Olewedels. Another blob assault, though, running into again to the MG4 twin now in Ostwind. Knight's Cross as well. Olewedel has got himself some more infantry, some more Ritterkreuz, more Sturmgewehr. Smoke going down. Finally a bit more aggression though, but again running into machine gun emplacements, losing troops to an MGs. Again, no real artillery, no half tracks with rockets, no mortars, no Nebelwerfers. And rather just rushing tanks and infantry to the problem spot. There we go though, heavy rocket artillery going in, knocking out the 17-pounder gun. Excellent. Headquarters command truck taking heavy damage. This is the time. Push in all the artillery. Come on, there's nothing to stop it. Just charge in. Great soldiers of the Reich. Come on, Olewedel. Move in all your tanks now. Schnell. You have one opportunity. Do not miss it. All to the Panther. All to the Panther 4. Come on, push. Not stop up in front of the 17-pounder gun and the Fireflies. Oh, you klutz. Anti-tank gun rushing in, but without much support, quickly getting outmaneuvered by tanks. Oh, there's another tank, so slightly more in-depth maneuver. That's something at least. Anti-tank actually pointed pretty poorly. Rangers, Riflemen, Pioneers on the run. Loystrup's Panthers are holding off the horde.
The unit has died.
And the Panzer IV was lost to the 17-pounder gun. Again, do preserve your units, Olewedel, and stay out of range of those 17-pounder guns. They are lethal. Was quite the effective anti-tank gun. And my apologies, of course, for any technical difficulties. Are still getting called in on the Panther in a desperate attempt, but of course it just moves away. Lovely. More artillery towards here. Third victory point being secured. More artillery getting on in the Panthers. Others moving forwards, getting hammered by anti-tank guns. Units dying left and right. This is pandemonium. The entire plate is getting scorched and cratered, turning into the moon.
Air Panther reporting.
We're losing a sector.
Pioneers suffering under the MG, and again the German strategy is completely falling apart, if there ever was one. No, not enough infantry, not enough pressure early on, and now they're simply getting steamrolled by the Allies. And the half-track's not even been manned, and he's just moving it in. Oh dear, lieber Gott.
Ostwind reporting.
Rather than being run off there, Ostwind's running into an anti-tank gun. Just push. Just push. In the name of all that is sacred, just push. Anti-tank gun down. And by the way, veterans of 3 Ostwinds actually gain a accuracy bonus. One of the few German units actually gain any sort of offensive bonus when they buy veterancy. Knight's Cross run off again. Ostwind's under fire from the artillery. Rangers, anti-tank guns advancing. Artillery getting called in on the Knight's Cross. Ostwind destroyed engine, but it is still there somehow. Knight's Cross have to retreat. More riflemen moving up. Ostwind still there, still there. Bazooka though finish it off. Riflemen moving in. Knight's Cross need to retreat again. Loystrup, get them out of there. And he does not. Sticky bombs galore on the Ostwind, but it is still there. The Knight's Cross again need to retreat, and we are seeing so many pioneers streaming up. One artillery though would ruin it all. And moving back to the action, yes, my apologies right here for the brief delay, and I should also apologize if there's going to be a sort of slight disconnect in the sort of one half of the match and the other, because, well, I rather sadly a bit late discovered that Fraps had turned himself off from recording. I had in fact gone through the entire episode, but they were still lacking quite a bit. So back in the action, all refreshed, all slept out. Ostwind firing away. Another Knight's Cross squad gets sacrificed, and we are seeing 10 pioneers getting absolutely evaporated. Quite brutally, in fact. Oh my goodness, the carnage. I mean, that many pioneers. Just horrific. And oh, so many blow torches as well. Panthers lining up. Veterancy free with armored skirts and everything else. Not really much use against anti-tank guns, although apparently no armor piercing rounds, which is definitely to the advantage of some mighty Panthers. Pioneers, for some reason, are actually marching ahead, but are going to run into some Rangers equipped with submachine guns and bazookas, and they are veterancy too. Coming under fire from the Panthers. Artillery going in on the Panthers, in fact, even at this very moment. Lots and lots of heavy artillery. Germans, though, have been pushed back, though again they might be able to drain down the Americans using the armor, and for some reason the Panthers are actually surviving most of this. Ostwind's doing a bit, though not an awful lot either. 3 Panthers so far, and this half-track is still achieving absolutely rubbish. And let's go have a look at Foggybottom and his Foggybottom Blues. Ostwind charges in. Another 17-pounder gun going up. This is definitely looking a bit sad. Needs some artillery down on this point or something to stop that 17-pounder gun. Instead of driving it out in front of the second one. Achtung, Achtung. Be aware of the bloody enemy's position. More anti-tank guns getting rushed out. We are seeing very, very little armor from the Allies. There's no real sort of attempt at pushing through. And again, they would need a lot of fireflies or tanks, but again, just rushing in infantry in huge streams against all of this is not necessarily going to work either. In particular when they have all that artillery, which again is not really suited for hitting mobile targets. Though at least the Germans have been able to sort of shift their strategy. Trouble is now the Allies are still stuck in their previous strategy, which again is rather focused towards dealing with static positions, which is fair enough, but can't really handle Panthers and Ostwinds with veterans. In particular, the Panthers are rather protected against sticky bombs, bazookas, and Piats. Knight's Cross there charging in, coming under fire from the Binarysoldiers MG42. Grenade on them as well, and oh, so heavy losses with the Knight's Cross. I have No idea why he insists on these rather silly tactics. And quite frankly, wasteful tactics as well. Tactics. The infantry's pretty much been absolutely savaged. And of course there are more pioneers being rushed out into the field. There we go, push, and Ostwind though leading the charge, not really meant for that. The Panthers would have been a better choice. They do have more health. Rangers taking some losses, but again the Ostwind was pretty much wasted again, you know, support units also generally weaker. The Ostwind is a bit more in the line of support. Granted, it's pretty strong support, but still, it's not the sort of thing that should be leading an armored charge. That would be the job of the Panthers with the thicker frontal armor and the more health. So, I mean, in that sense, in terms of, you know, a armored strategy, again, you know, usually move with the thing that can absorb fire most. Had they had Tigers, the Tiger should have been advancing. King Tiger, that should have been advancing. Instead, they have Panthers. Panthers should have been leading the advance, not the bloody Ostwind. Again, that was an absolute waste of a good flak Panzer. Fear. And again, I mean, heavy armored losses, heavy infantry losses. I mean, either of these forces will definitely not be in a happy condition after this fight. British, though, again, their blobbing tactics are punishing them extremely heavily. They can't really keep up with these losses either. And again, that sort of thing has to be carried out with, you know, blobbing up. Artillery going in, knocking out one anti-tank gun. Panther, though, needs to pull away. In fact, he just needs to pull out. Ostwind, direct hit! Ach du lieber. Knights Cross moving in, and with the mighty assault rifles to begin sorting out the anti-tank gun crews. That is something at least. Loystrup managing something. More Knights Cross though, again taking heavy losses. He's still not bothered clearing out that MG42 or anything. I mean, if either of the players would even sort of marginally bother either using their artillery and something more than just one anti-tank gun, but say actually getting a half-track with rockets on, they could sort out this position. In fact, I mean, just a bit of half-tracks could solve this. Nebelwerfers even, but they're not bothering. They're just mindlessly charging in. I mean, this is pretty much a novice fight at its ugliest. Pretty much just raw bashing in with blobs and armor. No finesse, no real tactics anymore. Just pretty raw Soviet-style strategy. And there we go, another Panther just charging in, getting covered in sticky bombs, going to rush in right between two anti-tank guns. There we go, though, again, armored skirts provide protection against sticky bombs. Other Panthers are not rushing in even to support, nor are the Knights Cross. There is no coordination between the two. I mean, and there we go, of course, now the two anti-tank guns are focusing down the Panther. Still no movement from the teammate to actually really assist. No Knights Cross, Panthers, everything. They just need to move in and really do some damage. In the meanwhile, Panther is going down. Panzerkampfwagen 5 is zerstört. One anti-tanker gets sorted out, but there we go. Anti-tank gun down. I mean, Panther down. Veteran 2 for the anti-tank gun. Panthers moving in. Ostwind moving in. Artillery going in. But I mean, no, the Allies are actually starting to lose a bit, and again, their force is not really built up for this. I mean, it's a way too sort of, you know, infantry, anti-tank gun based force, which again, the armor can sort of reasonably well deal with. Because for all their mistakes, the Axis are just able to stay just a bit more mobile, and the anti-tank gun's placement is a bit, you know, unfortunate. A bit too specifically towards a point where there's not really going to be a lot of action towards, rather where they should have been expecting the armor. So I mean, there's definitely also some poor placement or poor, you know, directional usage of the anti-tank guns. But I mean, overall, and GG constantly going out there for Foggybottom. Oh wait, I might be remembering already from there, but GG. He's certainly confident, though again, it is seen as rude by some people that, you know, you call GG before the opponent actually gives up the game. They're going for the victory points. He might be able to stop the victory point drain. Let's go look again at Binarysoldier, who's again has suffered quite a few losses. He's down to a few units, some commandos, and basically he's actually replacing a lot of his units with commandos. He's hoping for the Piats to win him through, but again, Piats do a lot less damage against alongside bazookas against units with armored skirts. These Knights Cross again need to retreat. Olewedel's just sacrificing them. I mean, at this rate they'll lose more Knights Cross than have ever been actually handed out. And Kangaroos being sent out on solitary suicide missions, not really working either. Panthers though going in for the 17-pounder gun, trying to knock it out. Though they are taking quite a bit of damage, and artillery just keeps raining in from these two howitzers. One veteran Z3, one veteran Z2. Usman lining up. Again, the two Axis players are not really in good condition, but still they have the armor advantage, and the allies, I mean, for example, Foggybottom insists on getting more Rangers. The problem is, of course, they can't really handle a Panther. I mean, at this stage of the fight, Rangers are useless. He ought to be using off-map combat groups, hoping for tank destroyers. Not Rangers, because, I mean, veteran Z3 Panthers, I mean, are pretty much well protected against Rangers. On the other hand, tank destroyers, if used properly with some anti-tank and other things, would have had a better chance. Instead, again, he's just charging in infantry mindlessly, ceaselessly, in the wrong manner against units again, which are built for countering. Can pretty much stop them in their tracks. Panther, though, takes a direct hit. Piet again charging in. Osman takes a direct hit. Knight's Cross again moving, and still no attempt at clearing out this MG42. I mean, I have absolutely no idea how many units it's killed, but it's certainly killed a lot of Knight's Cross. And again, Olewedel just frozen units, absolutely senselessly. Again, Monday Novice fight at its ugliest. This is definitely not a pretty sight, not for the weak of heart. And the bazookas actually hit the 17-pounder gun again, and the Knight's Cross squad gets evaporated and murdered. And he might be losing another one. No. One man somehow makes it out of there alive. Another kangaroo down again. This sort of piecemeal attacking is not working. The Allies, if they want to do this, should pull off one proper attack. But again, they simply don't know what to do. And again, that's sort of the problem. With some 2 versus 2 players, they simply get too enamored up with blobbing and then lose all sorts of tactical finesse. Main gun destroyed, but again, the Panthers rush in. And again, the Rangers will be pretty much useless. Rangers are not there for knocking out Panthers with armored skirts. That is just the sad truth. Osman's now charging into the PMS. But again, I mean, this is just wrong. I mean, again, it's not really going to achieve much. Lots of Piet 17-pounder guns, although, of course, he could try and knock out the howitzers. That could work, but again, he needs to keep moving instead of stopping up in front of all the infantry with anti-tank weapons. Olewedel, schnell, tempo, tempo. Not sit around drinking tea. Germans, though, are pushing on once more. Again, Foggybottom going for the GG. Starting to get a bit grating. Another victory point secured. Howitzer gets decrewed.
German forces are trying to overrun one of our...
And there we go. That victory point might be secured. 17-pounder gun. Ooh, they're going in for the machine gun, perhaps? No, apparently not. Another victory point. Down to 1, though. This is very close for the Germans. Olewedel and Loystrup. And we are seeing another rocket barrage getting called in. Right on the kangaroo as well. And he can't move due to the craters. I mean, craters, for example, are pretty terrible tank territory. They actually make it harder for your armor to move. So, I mean, little fun fact there. Though it looks like the kangaroo largely escapes. Still 17-pounder gun down, number 1. Other one could also be going down. Both went defensive. Well, yes. Yeah, not what I would recommend at all. Then again, this is the Monday Novice fight. So, of course, these things are to be expected. Troops are getting, though, again, cut off by the MG42. Again, absolutely no attempt at stopping the MG42. No attempt at even the slightest bit of artillery. Again, he's got the half-track. He could have fitted some rockets on it and begun bombarding this. It would have been faster. But again, it never really happened. Now the Knight's Cross are holding up behind some cover, some craters, some railway cars. Clearing out the 17-pounder gun in a most grueling and slow way. Just finding a way with a sword. Oh wait, Panzerfaust. He's trying to Panzerfaust it into a submission. More Knight's Cross. Panther fighting off against the kangaroo carrier, but that's actually taking losses. And the Knight's Cross stream in. And Commando Artillery going in to try and protect the victory point. 17-pounder gun is down, allowing the German Panthers, or whatever's left, for that matter. I think that's also the important bit, what is left, to move in and secure this point, push in, because now the British really are beyond all anti-tank assets that could really help stop it. And if only the British had bothered a bit more with some proper armor combination, some slightly more effective defenses, they might have done better. But again, They just kept throwing infantry at stuff they should not just be throwing infantry at. And that turned out to be their demise, their doom, their end. Going in for the victory point again, holding 2 in fact, rather desperate fighting by the Germans again. They need to hold, Sie mussten erhalten. And the Brit actually sends in his remaining infantry squads in a desperate attempt, but the Ostwind and the Panther just makes mincemeat of them. And Olewedel, I mean, he's in a pretty terrible condition, but again, his veteran armor does provide protection against the infantry's anti-tank weapons. And again, the trick for the Allies should have been to, not just continually feeding infantry, but shifting towards armor to sort of, create a more combined arms force, and more specifically a proper unit composition. But again, it never happened. I mean, proper unit composition actually matters, instead of just blobbing up and hammering it in. Now the armor is in fact clearing this out. I mean, the Allied players are in fact crippled at this stage. They have largely nothing left. I mean, of course, they could still, try and regain the victory point, but again, if the Germans just fight hard enough, that's not going to happen. Because again, they do have that armor, and again, the Allies have nothing to stop it. They keep insisting on bazookas, and again, the armored skirts absorb most of it. Even with rear hits, not enough. It is simply not enough, and again, the Allies' inability to actually sort of shift their strategy, and tactics for that matter, is rather what's, going to lose them the fight. Another Ostwind blows up. I've stopped counting quite some time ago, to be honest. Commandos charging in. In fact, that's largely what's remaining right here. Ranger squad trying to secure that victory point, but it's not succeeding. And of course, that Firefly again should not be moving up this close. It's a Firefly, not a Panther. The Firefly strength is at range, not up close. Slugging it out with a Panther. You will not win if you try to slug it out with a Panther. Simple as that. You are not supposed to slug it out with a Panther unless you're the one with the Panther. In which case, yes. The Panther was built for slugging it out from the front. Again, if you fight the Panther from the front, within its range, you're doing it wrong. Because again, it was built for that. Again, Panther drivers or tankers were trained to actually sort of always keep the front of the enemy, because again, it was rather thick due to the slope. Plus, of course, the slope itself was quite nice. It also had nice deflection ability. So again, there you again, rather important thing while fighting Panthers. Remember, you are not Panthers. You do not have Panthers. You have numbers. Some way to use that to your advantage. And ultimately, that is what the Allies completely and utterly failed to achieve, to do. And ultimately, that is what won them the fight. And of course, some will cry, oh, but the Wehrmacht had veterancy. Yes, but they also had constantly low resources, and poor tactics. Had the Allies just shifted a bit in their strategy and tactics towards armor that could actually deal with the German tanks more properly, they could have won this. I mean, absolutely, without hesitation, they could have won it. But they never did. They just kept throwing infantry at the enemy. And here's the thing. The majority of the German veterancy upgrades for the tanks are directed against infantry. Only veterancy 1 really has an effect against our enemy armor, and that's only a 15% difference. The rest, again, is towards infantry. And again, the Allies just kept at it. They did not learn. And again, figuring out what's going on and then reacting to it is important. Again, the Allies failed. So again, if I see someone, going, oh, the Germans had veterancy 3, that is so unfair, then, I mean, you can safely say they have completely missed the lesson. They've missed the point. And shall never improve in this game until they figure out that little bit. Again, German veterancy for the armor largely only applies, again, making them tougher against infantry, and again against, the whole blobbing in and charging in madly across open ground. But again, what lost the Allies were failure to respond in the end to what was going on. They failed to change their tactics depending on what's going on the battlefield. Horrible tactics. I mean, human wave blob tactics across open ground did not work out. Again, very bad as well. I mean, those were really sort of the key things, and basically just charging in. Again, horrible tactics though from both sides. I mean, the Germans sort of pulled up the same, but again, we've already sort of crossed that. But again, the Germans also, you know, not both going defensive, not both going heavily on the defense, which rather saw them taking heavy losses to artillery. But again, you know, unit preservation, poor tactics, just blobbing up. You know, use cover, use finesse, use flanking. Don't blob up, for heaven's sake. Don't blob up. Anyways, there you go. Do hope you learned something from this match. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends? And if you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own? This is Imperial Dane saying, do not blob up. Cheers.